Hey Inspire Random, in this video I'm going to be talking about why you should manifest. You might be wondering why even talk about this topic. You've been following my channel for so long already and I've been posting videos about manifestation. This video is more for some justification. I know at every juncture we do get some setbacks and we also get people who rub it in when we aim for something but we do not hit that goal, or perhaps people close to us, they make us second guess why we're even doing this. This is that purpose for this video. Manifestation, first and foremost, is really about being a better person. I want you to think of the time when you attended grade school and then you went on to high school. Everyone can think of someone, or maybe even you. Many kids who are not too enthusiastic about going to school. They're like, oh no, school sucks, I'm gonna stay at home, I remember how I absolutely hated the grade school I was in and I picked the high school that I wanted to go to. But when I actually went there on the first day, boy, it was so overwhelming compared to grade school. Not only was the school bag so much heavier, the desk was higher, but more than that, on the first day I was dumped with so much homework. In retrospect, I felt grade school was such a nice place to be. And then high school to varsity, we have the same experience again. The first day, you get treated like you're an adult because you are now an adult. Then again, you suddenly feel how nice it was to be a teen, how nice it was to be a kid. And we make the same mindset when we go from varsity to the workplace for the very first time. We're like, I want to be a student again. Why do you think is the case in Asia? There are so many overeducated young people. They just don't want to get out of this student mode. Let me tell you a little bit about this whole process. I want you to think of one thing that's been happening all this time when you went from grade school to high school to varsity to the workplace. Think very seriously if this one thing has been happening all this time, even before grade school. You learn about words. We're able to connect words to things, animals. For example, my daughter's cat actually. This is a cat. But from a mental point of view, cat is a living thing. But when you see C-A-T, that may not instantly trigger an image until our mind makes the association. We have the imprinting of the image of the cat in our mind. We know it's called a cat. When we see C-A-T, we imprint this word cat and we make the mental association that this imprint and this imprint are one and the same, which is a cat. Stinky wants to say hi. Right, Stinky? Now, we're gonna go on to grade school and the first day of high school. So much overwhelm. The first day of varsity, so much overwhelm, all the same. With all this overwhelm, how did we come to cope with it? Of course, we were doing what everyone else was doing. Maybe just follow everyone else. And we got through it. But in the process, when you finished your high school and you look back on before that, we got through it because we made a habit of certain things so that we didn't think about it anymore. We made a habit of doing our homework, checking our schedules, packing our bags, of having group projects every other week. We made a habit of examinations and preparing for examinations. At each juncture of our life, we develop new habits. Studies say that it takes 21 days to form habit. How many of you ever since still been forming new habits? The difference between the everyday person and top world leader or entrepreneur. Think about the Warren Buffetts, the Elon Musk, Bill Gates, George Soros, Jeff Bezos, and so on. Think of your favorite entrepreneur right now and think of the everyday person versus your favorite entrepreneur or one person out there that really inspires you. What's different? Same opportunities, but different conditioning. I talked about conditioning in my previous video. Over here, manifestation is really about being your best self. Continual progress, because if we're not constantly progressing, if we're not constantly going ahead, unfortunately, we're falling behind. Many people who are seen as successful are not really as successful as we think, because they could simply be in a comfortable job and they've rose the ranks in that job. But then again, if there is a global crisis or a financial crisis, when jobs get cut, people get retrenched, suddenly job security is no more. And they are as helpless or more helpless than the next person. You heard of a line, you can't teach old dog new tricks. This is definitely not true. Look at how I've come along. Even at 40, I no longer have any knee pain. I'm doing more ridiculous physical training on a day-to-day basis. Why? Because I've conditioned my body and my body has made a habit of these things and I've made a habit of being and feeling fit. How does that influence my decision making to things around fitness? The same goes for your dream life. What do you really want? What have you always thought about but not yet had? Manifestation is the bridge to these things that you are seeking in your life. Subconsciously in the past, through schooling and your various life challenges, you have set goals and achieved goals. You have aspired for stuff. You have looked upon people as role models and chased in their shadow. But what if I told you today that manifestation is the conscious process of improving yourself by imprinting the mind and making new mental connections as you did like when you were young? Many people don't actually think about this because we think it's just life. But then again, what was education even formed upon? Education was formed upon ancient scriptures. We think about the Bible, and for those in other religions, the same. We think of ancient scriptures. Even the Egyptians, they left ancient scriptures in their language for the transfer of knowledge. And a lot of that transfer of knowledge was in imprinting the mind with a vision that you can work to imprint and impress the mind with a vision, to have feelings for that vision. That is our emotional mind, or in other words, our heart. And with that, this is where Neville Goddard calls it live in the wish fulfilled, and it's only a matter of time before it becomes manifest. To manifest is to call these visions into a reality that others around us can perceive as well. Remember that most of the things that we see today, cars, buildings, phones, even this camera, computers, all these were created in the mind of someone before they could be built out. Your dreams are created in your mind before they can be taken out. I'm going to finish this with a story. I heard about a man and what he did with a $5 block of iron. It was raw material. Instead of selling it off to a place where people were willing to pay more than $5 for this block of raw iron, he decided to make kitchen utensils out of it. Given the shape and utility, this block of iron became kitchen cutlery. He was able to sell that for $250. Later than that, another person came along after seeing what this man was able to achieve with that block of $5 iron, increasing the value of that by 50 times. This other person had an even greater idea. You know, in mechanical watches, there are these fine springs that help in the timekeeping. He turned this block of steel into those fine springs, and this $5 piece of raw material, raw iron, was now worth $250,000. That is 1,000 times more of the previous guy. We are like that iron. This is what I want to leave you with. Have a serious thought about yourself. You are this raw piece of iron, this raw material, raw potential. So what is your potential going to be? Comment down below. I want to hear from you. Thank you. Like and subscribe and share this with your friends.